Good morning. Yep, Uncle Lou here. Thanks for watching live on LouTube today. Yep, really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Great video today. This video, years in the making. I'm excited about this video. So, today on LouTube, the top 5 dumbest fan bases in the SEC. Let's do it. All right, now here we go. Now let me preface this. Let me start out by saying these two things here. This list is my list as of like right now. Not like usually the dumbest or dumbest over the last 10 years or anything. This is the top 5 fan bases I consider to be the dumbest right now. That's number 1. Number 2. Any fan base could be on this list, okay? I know that. And, I mean, look, listen. There's idiots in every fan base in America, SEC or not, okay? There are even idiots in the UGA fan base. I make videos about them all the time. Hell, some people would tell you you're looking at one right now. So, yes, there are dumb people and idiots in every fan base. This is the top 5 dumbest in the SEC as of right now. So, all right, here we go. Let's start off the list here. Ole Miss fans. Ole Miss fans. Some of you are dumb. I mean, real dumb. Like the type of dumb you have to literally slap some of you across the face and physically introduce you to reality. I mean, listen. All the other dumb fan bases in the SEC have spent the last 2 years telling you what's coming with Hugh Freeze, the NCAA, buying players, your violations, and your sanctions and all that. We've spent the last 2 years telling you, and you spent the last 2 years with your head in the dirt, like an ostrich standing on one leg, burying your head in the sand, thinking if you don't look, if you don't acknowledge it, it's not really happening. Breaking news. It was really happening, and it happened. And now Hugh Freeze is gone. And that's not enough for some of these hotty-toddy idiots. Some of them still think it's some... Look, listen, you've got some Ole Miss fans actually blaming Alabama for their own problems. Now, that's ridiculous. They blame Houston Nutt. Now, Houston Nutt did take the lid off some stuff there, but you guys have been... you guys have been in the face of the NCAA with what you're doing. So, how any of you are surprised or shocked about what is happening now at Ole Miss and what's going to continue to happen? Because this is getting worse. This is getting worse before it gets better. You can write that down. It's going to be 10 years minimum before you're relevant again. Look what happened to Southern Cal in the mid-2000s when they got busted. Knocked them down for years, and you were never as high to start with as Southern Cal was, so bad things coming for you. Reality is staring you in the face, and he's wearing a pair of wanted glasses! So wake up and pay attention, and accept it for what it is. Hugh Freeze was a dirty, crooked, TV preacher snake oil salesman. He got busted. Deal with it and accept it. Number 4. Now, a lot of people are going to be shocked at this one. I think a lot of people were going to be expecting this team to be closer to number 1. I've got Tennessee, the Voltard fans, coming in on my list at number 4. Now, like I said, this is as of right now. Last year, previous years, whatever, Voltard fans would have been much higher on this list, probably contending for the number 1 spot. I've got them at number 4 as of right now. And really the reason is, a lot of Vol fans have come around and accepted the reality that Butch Jones is nothing more than a $4 million a year chart reader. Now, of course, a lot of them, still are on the 15-0 thing, and, Butch Jones, this is all just part of his, grand 8-year plan or whatever he's got. They actually believe this guy is a good coach. Butch Jones and Hugh Freeze actually have a lot in common. They're used car salesmen. They're selling you a bill of goods. And you do still have enough Voltard fans buying into this crap to warrant them a spot on the list at number 4. But listen, just like Ole Miss, Reality is coming. It's coming down the track. It's headed right towards you. Reality is coming. The reality of about 7 wins this year, but you still got a lot of the Vols that are on and on with, Butch Jones won 5 games, won 7 games, won 9 games, won 9 games again. Yeah, that seemed like a pattern. 5, 7, 9, 9. This year going to be 7. Next year could be 5. Look, Butch Jones is not a good coach. He's just not. In fact, he's an awful in-game coach. He's put together a couple of good recruiting classes, but all that proved is that he's not a good coach. He wasn't able to do nothing with it. Blame it on injuries, blame it on whatever you want. But these Vol fans, and listen, some of you Vol fans, Jalen Hurd wasn't no good anyway. Forget Jalen Hurd. We don't need him. We got John Kelly and some other guy, whatever, back John Kelly up. That's what they try to tell you. Listen! And look, too. Jalen Hurd was about, about 10 minutes away from becoming the Tennessee all-time leading rusher. Now all of a sudden you don't need him. You're not going to miss him. Oh, you talked about Josh Styles being an astronaut for years and years and years. Now he's gone. You're not going to miss him. What are you going to put in? Jarrett Guantanamo Bay or Quentin Normandy? Neither one of these guys know what they're doing. They ain't played no downs in the SEC. Nothing meaningful. You lost all the best players you had. Some of these Vol fans think they're winning East again. It just makes no sense. You thought this last year. You woke up, realized that wasn't happening. Now you're thinking again this year. You lost too many good players last year. Derek Barnett, Cam Sutton, whatever. On and on the list goes. You lost. Uncle Lou. Oh, you won, Jenny. Oh, we got Juwan Jenny. Well, good luck. If you catch 8 or 9 game-ending Hail Marys, God bless you. You may make a bowl game. I don't know. But the reality of the situation is you're not going to be as good this year, even as you were last year. So, you deserve your spot on this list. Number 4. Could be higher, to tell the truth. All right, that brings us up now to, number 3 on the UNCLELOU list, dumbest fan bases in the SEC. And listen, you can't make any dumbest anything list without including the Alabama Crimson Tide fans on there. These idiot Gumptard fans have got to be one of the dumbest groups of people in America. Forget about just college football fan bases. I would put the Gumps up against just about any other group, regardless of whether they were college football fans or not, in terms of just being the absolute dumbest human beings on the face of the earth. But when it comes to college football fans, we got to put them at number 3. And listen, the main reason they're at 3, in my mind, and not higher, 1 or 2, is because one of the biggest things that makes a fan base stupid is when they spend all offseason talking about how good they're going to be next year, right? And every fan base, to one degree or another, is guilty of that. The problem with everyone else, as far as looking at Alabama fans doing that, is that, let's just be real, they're usually right! At least lately, since 2008 to now. But these fans don't know anything, nothing, outside of that. That is literally all the majority of these Gump fans know, is 2008 till now. Yeah, they know they had a coach named Bear Bryant that coached sometime in the distant past. Some of them might even be able to tell you that he coached in the 60s and the 70s or whatever they can tell you. But the vast majority of them, that's all they know. We had a coach one time named Bear Bryant that was good, and we're good now. That's pretty much all they know. And the reason is from 1992 to 2007, you couldn't find a Gump fan with a telescope and a magnifying glass. You could have had a treasure map, and you couldn't have found a damn Alabama fan from 1992 to 2007. Nick Saban comes in, wins them a couple of titles, and all of a sudden everybody's a 40-year-old, lifelong Gump fan. Well, I call BS on that. You know what y'all were doing? From 92 to 2007, you couldn't find them. They were at Talladega. They lived there. The race was on Sunday. These idiots went down there 2 weeks ahead of time, where their pull-behind pop-up tent, and basically lived at Talladega. That was their life. NASCAR and racing. You wonder why NASCAR's popularity has been nosediving over the last decade? All you gotta do is look at the state of Alabama. All those inbred idiots out there who used to show up at the race for weeks at a time, drinking moonshine out of an old bedpan, they're all Alabama fans now. Number 3 on the list. All right, now that brings us up here to number 2 on the list, dumbest fan bases in the SEC, and I'll be the first to admit, number 1 and number 2, we could easily flip-flop these. It could have gone either way. But coming in at number 2, the Barners. Now, this is another group of perpetually retarded people that just can't seem to get out of their own way year after year after year after year. And to be honest, the worst thing that ever happened to Barner fans was that national title they bought back in, 2010 with Cam Newton. That was the worst thing that ever happened to Auburn fans because that gave them a sense of belonging. Like they actually mattered and meant something because they were able to buy Cam Newton from his crooked preacher daddy and win a natty. But let's just be real. These people are another one, and maybe it's just something about the state of Alabama because here we go again with another collection of just complete derelicts. I mean, people who you could set these people in a circular room, tell them to find the corner, and they would entertain themselves for hours. They're absolute idiots, these people. Every single year, they have a quarterback that's about to win the Heisman. John Franklin III, Shaun White, the list goes on. Nick Marshall. Now Jarrett Stidbaloney comes in from the Big 12. The guy started 3 games out there against defenses, average rank 90, and now he's going to come in and dominate the SEC. Look, the Barners, one of the dumbest fan bases in all of America. Not to mention the fact they can't beat their 2 biggest rivals, yet they won't shut up. They won't shut their mouth. They're 0 for their last 6 against Georgia and Alabama. Can't tell these fans anything. All they want to do is talk about Cam Newton and one title that they bought in 2010, which I promise you, no one cares, and that's not helping you at all in 2017. You can write that down. But what really puts the Barners over the top, what really elevates them to number 2 on this list, is their absolute love, dedication, and infatuation with the Gus Bus. This is going to have to be explained to me on a 3rd grade level. This guy has been a complete disaster and joke of a head coach. Now, yeah, he lucked up and made a natty game 4 years ago or whatever, which he lost. But other than that, the guy can't get out of his own way. He's a shadow of a head coach. Supposed to be an offensive genius, the guy he couldn't get a first down in the second half against UGA. And the Barner tell you, oh, Uncle Lou, our running back was injured, Uncle Lou. Congratulations, we play you in November. Everyone has injuries in November, okay? You have 11 players that have to play on offense. You have 85 schollies. That's why you're going to have injuries. Quit crying about it. Listen. They have told me, I've had the same Auburn fans tell me at different times over the last couple of months that Cameron Petaway is winning the Heisman, Jarrett Stidbaloney is winning the Heisman. Stidbaloney's passing for 4,500 yards. Cam Petaway is rushing for 2,500 yards. Listen, I mean, the amount of delusion that it takes to be a Barner fan is mind-boggling. Just trying to read some of the crap they say on the internet is enough to make you dizzy. Mind blown. And now, the coup de grace, the creme de la creme, the peak of the mountain of absolute stupidity when it comes to fan bases in the SEC. None other than the South Carolina Gamecocks. I mean, yeah, talk about a head scratcher. Now look, a lot of you are going to say, well, of course Lou put South Carolina number 1. That's his most hated team. He hates South Carolina more than that. Look, I promise, believe me or not, really don't care. That has nothing to do with it. South Carolina fans, they probably wouldn't even have been in the top 5 had I done this list last offseason. But the things that I've seen from these nincompoops over the past 6 months about what they think is happening in South Carolina and Columbia is the definition of insanity. Start with Will Muschamp. They really believe, they are not trolling, it's not just them being homers, they honestly, truly, 100% believe Will Muschamp is a college-level head coach. They're dead serious. the guy can do. He went 4-8 with Florida talent. What do you think he's going to do in South Carolina? And then, look, this is what, I love when they do this. They talk themselves in a circle. They say, if Will Muschamp's so great, that's what I tell them. Will Muschamp's so great. The dude had a losing record for you last year, 6-7. They say, yeah, Uncle Lou, but we only won 3 games the year before. And at least we made a bowl game this year. And we would have had a better record if Jake Bentley would have been starting for the entire year. Hello, ma'am. Who made that decision? Will Muschamp did. He started whatever noodle arm grocery bagger you had playing quarterback the first half of the season. Will Muschamp did that. So, which is it? Does he know what he's doing or not? No, he doesn't. But besides that, and everyone knows this, he works for UGA. He always has. Send him to Florida. Hell, listen. UGA couldn't beat Florida if our lives depended on it. Until we sent Muschamp there. And then we owned them. I mean, we beat them senseless. South Carolina fans think they have a chance to win the East. They think Will Muschamp is a good coach. They think Jake Bentley's the best quarterback in the SEC. Jake Bentley. The dude looks like Doogie Howser. He hasn't even hit puberty. South Carolina fans. I have a question, and this will be it. One question for South Carolina fans. I need a South Carolina fan to answer me this question right now. Who Velcros your shoes in the morning?